Hey all, this is a quick tutorial on your first assignment in business leadership. We'll quickly look at the three options. I won't spend a lot of time on the options. I more want to show you a tutorial on how to structure a business report. For many of you, this will be the first time you're doing that. So your first option is to look at Restaurant Brands International and one of the four franchises that they run: Tim Hortons, Burger King, Firehouse Subs, Popeyes, and you will be doing a business analysis looking at the company itself, doing a SWOT, PEST, competitive analysis, and then making a recommendation if one of those franchises should expand somewhere here in the Quinte region. You can use Trenton, Belleville, or any of the surrounding communities as the community you're looking at expanding to. Your second option, you're doing the same assignment, your topic is a little bit different. So your second assignment will be looking at major sports league, NHL, Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL, and you want to choose one city internationally to potentially create a new franchise. So you won't be using a North American city, no US, no Canada specifically, but you can choose London, England, or Rome, Italy, or another city, and looking at possibly moving a new team to that city. Like the previous assignment, SWOT, PEST, competition, and a recommendation. And finally, your third option is again, the same project, just a different topic, and this one is looking at Sky Zone, which is the world's best and most famous trampoline park, and you'll be looking at expanding potentially a Sky Zone franchise to Qatar. They recently expanded successfully in Dubai, so now let's see if they can create a further imprint and whether that's a good idea or not, doing a SWOT, PEST, and competitive analysis, and making a recommendation. So that's your project. Choose one of those. You can work individually or with a partner. I certainly recommend and encourage you to work collaboratively. This is a business class, and in business you're going to be working with people, so it's certainly healthy for us to be working with partners. That said, a little piece of advice that I learned, unfortunately, my third year of university, and that is when you're choosing a partner, choose someone who has similar academic goals as you do, so that your work habits on this assignment are going to align. Often working with our friends is fun, but working with someone who aligns academically with our goals tends to be a little bit more successful. So a little piece of advice for you, but ultimately you guys are almost adults and can choose a partner as you see fit. So let's take a look at what a business report looks like. I've gone ahead and I've created a platform using Firehouse Subs, which is one of the Restaurant Brand International options, and I'm going to show you if I were doing this project on Firehouse Subs, what it would look like. You can watch this video and build your report accordingly, as this is kind of what I will be looking for. So first and foremost, I'm looking for a title page. Your title page is going to have three separate components. At the top, you're going to put the title of your project, so Firehouse Subs expansion to Quinte West, or National Hockey League expansion to Dublin, Ireland, or Sky Zone expansion to Qatar. Nice and simple. In the middle of your page, you'll throw in a relevant picture. So in this case, this is a screenshot of Firehouse Subs. Piece of advice for you: if you want to be able to move your picture around in Google Docs, when you click on it, you've got a number of different views. Inline will center it for you, but you can't drag it around. So if I'm in line, you can see I can't drag it around. I'm trying to right now. But if you choose that second option, which is wrap text, you will then be able to move and center and drag your picture around as you see fit. So there's a little sidebar piece of advice for you. So your title page will include your title, a relevant picture, and finally at the bottom, I want four things. I want it your name, so submitted by your name or names if you're working with a partner, submitted to me. Please make sure you spell my name right because we are doing a professional document, and so we want to make sure all of our spelling is correct, including all names. The course code, which is BOH4M, and then the due date, which I'm putting as Wednesday, February 22nd, but we may modify that based on our needs. So for now, you can plug that in if you wish. So my title page is my title page, and then I'm not going to put anything else until my second page. And this aligns with our project. So I'm not doing anything really earth-shattering here. I'm just taking the criteria. So I'm going to go back to the assignment for a sec. You'll see in this section, I have outlined 6 different areas I want you to focus on. So an introduction of your restaurant, of Restaurant Brands International. then an overview of your restaurant, a SWOT analysis, a PEST analysis, direct competition, and your final recommendation. These bullet points here I've turned into a business report. So you'll see my section 1.0, overview of restaurant brands international. So I have numbered it. It's very common in business reports to see a numbered system. So we're not going to do a long flowing 5-paragraph essay. You do that in 4U English, not in business. So you'll do your overview of restaurant brands international. This is where you'll provide background information on the parent organization. Your second section will be a background on Firehouse Subs. If you're doing the NHL one, I think you'll only have one section here, background on the National Hockey League or NFL or whoever you're doing. And likewise, if you're doing Sky Zone, it'll be one section. For the restaurant one, there's just 2 separate sections because you're talking about the parent organization and the specific franchise you want to focus on. On we go. So I've then numbered a SWOT analysis, and like we've done in class, you'll see I've created a 2x2 table. We're going to use bullet points in the 2x2 table, have an introductory sentence that simply says the following is a SWOT analysis for, and then fill in the blank, whatever topic you're doing. Do your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Super important. When I've done this project in the past, this is the number one thing that students forget, is you are doing an analysis. An analysis requires a concluding paragraph, so please ensure you come to some sort of conclusion. It might be a positive one, it might be a neutral one, it might be a negative one, but it's important that you're able to say, based on this SWOT analysis, here's what we see, or here's what I see. After you're done your SWOT analysis, you will repeat that process, except this time doing the political, economic, socio-cultural, and technological factors using bullet points, an introductory sentence, and a concluding sentence, just like your SWOT analysis. And finally, you're going to organize your competition. You can use subheadings here, direct competition, and 2 ways you can approach this. You can have an introductory sentence. The following is the direct competition for whatever your topic is, and then outline some bullet points with justification on why it's the direct competition. Or if you are more inclined, you can do that in paragraph form. So you can write a few sentences that outline that. Ditto for your indirect competition. And finally, on your report, you will have a recommendation. And that recommendation is going to say, based on the SWOT PEST and competitive analysis, Firehouse Subs should expand to Trenton, or Major League Baseball should expand to London, England, or Sky Zone should not expand to Qatar, or should expand to Qatar, and then justify your reasons. So don't just say they should or shouldn't, but based on your analysis, what should they do and why? And at the very end, you're going to have a works cited. Remember this beautiful tool we have now embedded in Google Docs. So you click on Tools, Citations. We are going to use MLA. Add a source. Your source will most likely be a website. You can put the URL in here. So I'm just going to use an example here. I'm just going to use TSN because I know it will be called up. And I'm going to search. And this is the one I want to use. So I'll click Continue. And then we'll add citation. And as I'm going and I'm building my sources, I will add more citations to this. At the end, I'm going to have a series of citations. I will click Insert, and it inserted it in the wrong part. I should be on the bottom of my document, but it will insert a properly formatted works cited for me. So please ensure, so the mistake I made, just to let you know, is I wasn't at the bottom of my document when I inserted that. So had I been at the bottom of my document, it would have done it here. And then I would just delete this part. Okay, so that is your template for how to write a business report for me. So you have several sections. You've got, let's zoom out on this a bit. So this is what it'll look like. You'll have a nicely formatted title page. You will then get into the analysis part using a numbered system, and that numbered system aligns with the bullet points in your instructions. So background, SWOT, PEST, direct competition, and recommendation, and finally a works cited. You will hand that into Classroom. Only one group member, if you're working with a partner, has to hand it in, and just make sure you have both names on the title, and I will provide feedback to both of you in your specific marks slot in Google Classroom. So good luck with this assignment, everyone, and really looking forward to seeing what you come up with. Cheers.